there were a couple of things in there that kind of concerned me, to be honest with you. I didn't actually think we'd play as bad as we did. But the one concern, I kind of said it before, when we play against sort of a little bit more physical opposition, and Leeds are a little bit sort of physical, much more physical than Norwich. When we play against a team that's a little bit more physical, my concern is about Lanzini playing alongside Declan. Now, okay, so checks out. But again, Alex Krul, on the bench, he is his role is a central defensive midfielder. All right, I know we didn't have Martin Noble because he had COVID or whatever, but Alex Krul was sitting on the bench, and you think to yourself, when you're playing against a team that's a little bit more physical, then why not put in a player that should be able to deal with that kind of game? He was on the bench. Okay. Our defending, let's be honest, against Leeds was woeful. That I think every time they went forward, they looked like scoring. And our passing wasn't good, our defending wasn't good. It just, everything just didn't seem right. And I know Moyes, he's decried it. He said, the fixture schedule, he's not happy at the fact that we were forced to play the game on that day, and and he felt that we should have been given a little bit of a respite. And I get that, totally and utterly understand all of that. No two ways about it. I definitely get it. But Moyes had for him, in this game, three options. I kind of alluded to one already. He had three options. Now, we've had COVID, and it seems that some teams like Arsenal at the weekend are beginning to use COVID as a bit of an excuse. Now, what did they say at the weekend? They had people out on COVID, they had players on AFCON, and they had injuries. Well, that's no different to us. We've got Ben Rama out at the AFCON. We had injuries. We got injuries to Zuma and other players, etc. And we had players on with COVID as well. So why are we not pushing? I know Moyes alluded to, I'll be tougher in the future. It's like, well, the damage is done. So perhaps David Moyes could have asked for a postponement because we had COVID cases. I've already alluded to it. The second one, use your depth, use your squad depth, the fringe players, the younger players, etc. Why not mix it around a little bit? I think he had that great opportunity against Norwich to use different players in order to keep certain players fresh for the game against Leeds. I'm not being harsh on him. It's the way I see it. You guys might disagree, etc. But for me, I think, he could have had that option of using different players for the two games that we've had, and he didn't do so. And of course we looked tired. I'm not surprised. And then of course the third thing is clear. Get some transfers in, ease the burden on the squad, get some more players in. And I know he's been saying that offers have been put in, etc. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we? Look, in his post-match interview, Moyes admitted that Mikel Antonio was dead on his feet. Well, I don't think that's a surprise either, really, is it? He has been dead on his feet. He's been played and played and played and played, and of course he looks knackered. In all honesty, and I've said it before, and I'm not having a go at Antonio because when he goes on the pitch, he does try and put his best effort in every single time. No one can deny that. But going into this season with just one striker, it was going to be obvious unless we had an alternative way of playing. And I know he's played Bowen up front as well a few times, but going into the season with one striker, you're going to put a massive burden on the only striker that you got. Why didn't he, for example, Bowen's got a better engine on him. You can see that. Why didn't he, for example, on last Wednesday against Norwich, play Bowen up front and then play maybe Okoflex along the line? Even Masuaku as starting off as an attacking midfielder, and give Antonio that rest. Why is he afraid of not resting Antonio? It's not about dropping the player, it's about resting your players. And I'm not surprised, but yet, even in the game, when he said Antonio looked dead on his feet, he still didn't take him off. And change it around and put another attacking threat on. I kind of didn't understand Moyes' judgment on the transfer, on the substitutions. Pablo Fornals got a great goal back for us. He looked like he's back to a little bit of his best. Taken off. He took him off, and I was standing there thinking, why did he do that? Why did he take Pablo Fornals off when Antonio was dead on his feet? Why didn't he change the formation in some way? Look, fair play to Moyes. He brought Perkins on a bit late. He brought Perkins on in the 85th minute and he tried. But I just think, when it came to the youngsters, the player that he should really have brought on was Armstrong Okoflex. I've been ranting about this player for all season. I didn't realise just how good he was. And I just think that Perkins, he tried, but Perkins kind of looks a little bit out of his depth in the Premier League. Whereas Okoflex looks more like a player that might be able to sustain the pressure of the Premier League. Perkins did as best as he could. He went up front. He tried to mix it around and try to get involved, etc. But he hardly had a touch. Okoflex, I know he's not an out-and-out striker, but again, like I say, he could have come on the left side. You could have put Bone out. You could have even put Antonio out wide if you wanted to keep him on or whatever. Mix it up a little bit. And he's the player that I think should have actually come on the pitch at some point. I think we're missing our opportunities to finally to get a chance to see what Okoflex is capable of, because the games are going to come that are coming up are tougher games, even tougher, etc., etc. Man United at the weekend, we got Leicester away, etc. They're tougher. I know we got an FA Cup game, and maybe, just maybe, we might see someone like Okoflex in the FA Cup against Kidderminster. If that ain't the time to see what he's like, what he's capable of, I don't know when is.